Kia ora, g'day, welcome back here with another reaction video, this time to the Navy Divers Episode 1 Hell Week. This is the Australian one, I think, so let's jump in. And just before we do that, just want to shout out to @JAYEPH.087. He's one of the members of the channel who made the recommendation for this video. So let's get into it.
Covert tactical operations, deep sea missions, underwater bomb disposal. This is the dangerous and secretive world of the Navy's elite clearance divers. One of the most extreme military jobs in the world. To become clearance divers, candidates must first conquer the Navy's most intense training program. It will take them to the limits of their mental and physical endurance. Only the toughest will make it. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of the hundreds who apply to become Navy divers each year, only a few are selected for the Clearance Diver Assessment Test, known as CDAT. There are 27 candidates in this group. For the next 10 days, they will be identified only by the numbers on their vests.
Okay, number 3, up.
The testing will be relentless, specifically designed to weed out those who are physically and psychologically unsuitable.
Good job. Right turn. Right.
Hang on, I gotta stop that there. Sorry, lads. I'm gonna rewind that because that was a crack up. But what I was gonna say was just looking at the initial parts of the testing, like the pull-ups. That'd be a little bit daunting. It looks like they go through one at a time. Some strong-looking pull-ups there. Guy was pulling like chest to bar. Maybe that's the standard, or maybe he's just got that much strength that pulling his pull-ups he gets that high above the bar. But man, that'll feel different. Everybody standing there watching one person at a time go up. I suppose you get a little bit more rest in terms of what activities they may be doing for the rest of the day or whatever's going on as part of this selection. But man, it's interesting that happens. 27 candidates, I think they mentioned. But sorry, I'm going to rewind this. I'm going to rewind back to this. What do you give, a right turn or a left turn? Something like that anyway. They bloody all just like the Red Sea parting, turning different ways. Let's have a look. Here we go.
And psychologically unsuitable.
Good job. Right turn. Right.
Hey. I'm looking at that. I reckon the instructor gave right turn to his rights because the guy that's out there getting ready to lead the run is the one that gave the instruction and started walking off to his right, as I look at this video anyway. The candidates followed, well, half of them followed the instruction when he said right turn, and they turned to the right, which would have been his left. But he was walking off to his right. And so those that turned the wrong way, that turned left, they jumped around and turned. It's a strange looking, maybe that's how they do their drill, I don't know. They then turned around, basically an about turn, to face the same direction as those that turned in the right direction. But now it looks like they've been moved and probably done another about turn because they're now facing towards where the instructor is. Unless something's gone on with the cameras or whatever. But yeah. My mistake, your fault. Hey, one of the comments from the instructors that you'll hear over time, they don't want to admit when they've made a mistake, so maybe that part's been edited out. But it looks like he's gone off to the right. Anyway, let's carry on and see what he's doing.
The gate to gate is a crippling 4-hour fitness session that quickly exposes candidates who haven't prepared.
Ready, go! 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 Get up there! Get that go! Come on! Get with me, one, let's go. Let's go, number 8. 1-1.
Its intensity is relentless, creating pain and confusion.
You look at how lean those guys were too, those clearance divers. Fit rabbits, man, they look like rabbits, but no doubt have a heck of a lot of strength and power to weight ratio as well.
That is a flog session. That is basically the initial cutting away of the dead wood. Because those blokes, if they can't cop the gate to gate, that's when they'll go.
She's drastically unprepared. Yeah, not thirsty, 17. That means you're not putting in.
And just when they think the agony of this first exercise is finally over, they are ordered to do it all again.
Rans have put in more than you, bro. Quit walking, start putting in. Behind.
There's also a psychological effect to the gate to gate. They're continually being barked at. Do you really need it this bad? You don't want to be here. This is not for you, mate. Jump on the bus. It's not.
That's interesting, eh? Like just the amount of input from the directing staff. I don't know if they use that term, but I'm going to use it anyway. So the amount of input from the directing staff here, barking at them was the term that I heard him use, in their face. Not thirsty. Oh, okay, it means you're not putting in like all these little things, all of that stuff. Yeah, he's right. Like I've never done the clearance divers testing, but all of that will play psychologically, mentally. Oh no, the staff thinks I'm not putting in. Oh, I better have a drink. You know, all these little things will start to add up. But it's interesting just how much talking there is by the staff to these candidates. Oh, but hey, it's tried, tested, proven, and it works for them. So
Not worth the pain.
What are you doing? I just stand there and everyone else way. Put in!
And I guarantee there'll be bloke puts up his hand and goes, you're right. I don't want to be here. It's not for me.
Hands up. Does that mean you're handing your vest in? Embarrassing. I can't believe half of you even showed up.
embarrassing. I can't believe half of yous even showed up. Okay.
By the second day, 3 candidates have already succumbed.
Bit of a CDAT tradition that all the scalps from those that have fallen, remove themselves, become injured. We'll hang their vests up here for the rest of the candidates to see, and they'll remain here for the entire period of CDAT.
It's not too bad. 3 after the first day, but still early days, eh? But I would be assuming that those 27, like they said, they have to, in order to get onto the CDAT, I think they called it, Clearance Divers Assessment Test. I think, sorry if I got that wrong. I think in order to just get to that stage, they have to already be pretty at a high level. So yeah, not surprising then that there's not that many that have withdrawn after the first day, because obviously seems like they've got a strong candidate pool to go in.
Our job here isn't really to get as many vests on here as we can. The idea is to get the right vests hanging up.
You're ripping your mates off. Yeah, you're not. Let's go, move on. Pick the weight up.
The agony goes on.
In everyone. He's ripping you off.
It's critical that clearance divers can operate effectively under severe pressure.
Get some effort happening. Come on, 1, 2, 1, 2.
They've got to learn to work under stress. As you say, there is all of a sudden they'd be tired, fatigued. These blokes might work in bomb disposal somewhere, and say to them, "Which wire are you going to cut? Red one, blue one? Oh, I can't think." People's lives in these people's hands. They need to know what they're on about under stress.
As the hammering continues, the casualties mount. But for candidate number 21, it's nothing new. He's experienced it all before.
Yeah, this is actually my second CDAT. Yeah, I got pulled off the last one. It's a bit of an attitude problem.
hey, full credit to him for being on camera and talking about it and being honest. Hey, like, just, yeah, not many people would do that. So he got pulled off, and he's saying for a bit of an attitude problem. Full credit to him, man. Clearly he wants to be there, and going back, that says a lot, and I'm sure that would say a lot to the instructors as well, but still, they'll want to not only have that probably works well in his favor, but they'll want to see what changes or adjustments have been made, if any. Yeah, full credit.
I was pretty keen to have another go because, like, being pulled off the last one, I just felt like, I wanted to like prove them wrong.
21, coaster. One over the bar. There's that many coasters here.
Clearance diving attracts all types from all over the country. It's a prestigious and well-paid job. But for an 18-year-old tearaway like Brodie Limbury from outback Queensland, it offers much more.
This person here, wouldn't be the person I'd like to go back to. I'm a bit of a clown. Heard my mother say for the first time when I was in the Navy that she was proud of me, pretty much. It's pretty much the only thing I'm really doing it for, just like to make my mother proud and my family. I didn't even think my brothers really looked up to me. Now my little brother wants to be like me, he reckons, when he grows up. That's pretty good.
Man, that's a powerful story right there. Just the internal struggles that this young man would. I don't know how old he's. I should have had a look to see how old this video was. I didn't have a look at that. I'll have a look after. But just some of, I suppose, the recognition at such a young age, 18, looking at some of the photos, saying that he doesn't want to go back to being this fella. He was a bit of a clown. But some of the internal battles, struggles, maybe just that looking for some sort of recognition from his family. Him saying that the first time he heard his mum say that she was proud of him was when he was in the Navy. Just, man, the impact that has, the impact that we have on clearly our children, but also on other people. Amazing how much or how far a kind word or an encouragement can go to just maybe lift somebody's spirits and help them out. The fact that he's just even grateful that his younger brothers. There's a lot going on up here for all of us. That's why I try to keep sharing that you're not alone. We're not alone. Better days are ahead. We just got to keep tuning up and staying consistent. But man, feel for this young fella here. Obviously, he won't be that young now, I don't think, because I reckon this is probably a fairly older video. But massive respect to him. 18 years of age, having that type of thought process and what he's wanting to do, wanting to make his family proud. Wow. Just shows a whole bunch of different drivers for everybody, regardless of what it is that they're looking to do.
In your own time, enter the water. Go.
In the next test, candidates face over 6 hours in freezing water, swimming across Sydney Harbour.
21. You guys are showing a distinct lack of fitness in and out of the water.
Hypothermia, dehydration, and even the threat of shark attacks tests the candidate's strength and nerve. They can withdraw at any time.
On the deck number 3.
2 hours in, and candidate number 3 requires treatment for severe cramp.
Okay, yep, stretch it.
How you going now, number 3? Yeah? So what am I doing sitting here talking to you, wasting my time with you? Divers out there are probably more important, eh?
Yeah.
I'm observing this whole evolution. Their safety's in the back of my mind. Wasting time with you here. Do you think there's going to be supervisors out there who are going to really care if you pull out of a mission halfway through?
There is no room for members not to pull their own weight in a clearance diving team. If you are not kicking, I will put you back on the boat and send you home.
Number 3, your number. Duly noted.
No, guys, you haven't hit the beach yet.
Up to the wall, boys. Up to the wall.
It's critical that the men remain hydrated during all phases of CDAT, and a water bottle must be carried at all times.
Turn around 15, explain to your team what you lost.
I lost my drink bottle, guys.
15, what happens if that was a weapon that you lost? Compromised. What happens if it's diving kit that you lost? Cost the taxpayer. What happens if it's vital life-saving equipment and one of your mates gets into trouble? He dies. Fantastic, fall back in.
The men have only 10 minutes to recover before receiving the next order.
Second phase, commence now. Return to base.
Go
fellas.
Stay line.
Stay line. You got no water bottle to hold you back, so you should be able to move faster. Number!
I shouldn't be laughing, but man, hearing it, it's serious. The elements to that and everything that the instructor's spoken about, right? Something as seemingly benign as a water bottle, could be your weapon, could be specialist dive kit or equipment that he's talking about, could be a core piece of equipment that you need that could save or help your team or a team member's life or even your own. And if you can't look after your gear and keep it squared away and keep it buttoned up, locked away tight so that you can draw on it and use it when you need it, such as like this water bottle that they're supposed to have on them at all times, you're a bit of a liability. That's the thought that starts running through the instructors' heads. That's the thought that starts running through the other candidates' heads if they do buddy ratings or anything like that. It's that time. We'll go for a bit longer.
5, 6, 8,
It's another 4 kilometres back to base. Swimming against the current, it will be past midnight before they arrive.
This is a team effort, not an individual effort.
It's a cold, exhausting and boring exercise, and there's a temptation to relax and let the rest of the group pull you along. The observers look for the candidates who remain focused, team players who can stick to the task, no matter what.
Usually there's 3 types of candidates you find on CDAT. You've got the guys that stand out as performers. You've got the guys that trail right down the back because they're not putting in, and we've got the grey man, is what we refer to, the man right in the middle, and that's usually the best guy to have. With performance comes attitude and cockiness sometimes. The grey man is where you want to be. You don't want to be noticed. You don't want your number getting written down for being good or bad. You just want to get to the end, and we go, holy shit, we didn't even know he was here.
Yep, that's always the place to be. I find in any, so it's good to hear the clearance divers are looking for those same types of things as well. And I was going to jump in, but and say, you want to be surprised, hopefully surprise the instructors that, oh, you're still here. Well, where did this guy come from? But great to hear them say that and speak about that as well.
Your next activity is a medical evacuation test. The sandbags on each stretcher represent a casualty. Therefore, they are to be treated as such.
Remember that? Bloody Sandy was the name given to part of the Kazovac not stores, but Kazovac sort of activity, we'll call it, during selection. And carrying Sandy, which was at the time was these old overalls, chock-a-block filled with sort of like, seemed like damp sand or sand inside there, tied off at the ends, and that thing was bloody heavy, with us having to carry that around. So looks like they have their own version of Sandy as well.
Hauling 60 kilograms of sandbags through steep bushland is an endurance test, but it's also about teamwork.
Stepping up.
Clearance divers work together. The team must always take priority over the individual. So when something as precious as a water bottle is left behind, only one thing matters.
Can I go back down and grab it? Unless.
What are you going to do to the rest of the teammates if you're severing the ties right here? What's going to happen to them?
Yeah, I'm going to let them down.
Yeah, you're going to let them down?
Yeah.
What's that mean to the team?
Yeah, it's not good for the team, so stay with the
You answered
team.
your own question. Tell me when you're up.
I've got no room on the left here, guys.
They hide in the bushes and watch as you're coming past. You see a shadow of a person in the background, and then you wonder when they're what they're scribbling in their books, whether they're writing something about you or one of the boys.
They're always scribbling about you. Like I'm not. I'm thinking of the SAS selection. Can't speak for the Navy clearance dive one, but I would assume they're highly likely writing stuff about each person. Maybe not necessarily you at that time, but yeah, it does get you up here thinking, oh, what did I do? What are they writing about me? Looking at the webbing, there's no real pack. Looks like they've got a little backpack, but it's not an army selection that they're doing. They're for Navy, so their equipment and their kits and the fact that they are not wearing a pack like in the army, like what we would wear, is neither here nor there really, because it's specific for what they do and or what their process is for their selection. So people might look at it and potentially, not everybody, but potentially some people may look to compare it and go, oh, that's not as hard as the SAS selection because look, they're not even carrying a pack and blah blah blah. They're not doing a SAS selection, they're doing a Navy clearance diver selection course. And from what I can see, like, this is just early stages. It's already pretty grueling, very, very fit looking individuals, including the instructors who are in there barking at them as well. And yeah, I think this is only day 2 or maybe day 3 into it. And even then we don't see all the other stuff that likely makes up this CDAT. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm enjoying watching it anyway.
I think the old saying of being the grey man would be the perfect scenario for everybody. Just keeping your mouth closed, try not to show too much emotion, try not to be excited, try not to be disappointed, try not to look like you're upset when they tell you you've got 20 more Ks to go after it's already felt like 100.
Refurbish your gear, ensure we're ready for another move. Are there any questions? The only thing that the staff needs to say to these guys is just the robotic. This is what you're doing. This is the activity. These are the timings carried out. You don't want to get involved in these blokes because you may bring to the table, hey, look, he seems a nice enough bloke. Doesn't cut it. Who cares if he's a nice bloke? A nice bloke doesn't win a war.
Do you want to be seen as the guy who comes last on this Evolution 24?
Let's go, boys! Get your fins off!
What are you doing, 21? Get your hands around the bar!
Leaning forward. On course, you'll be running with these on your shoulder on the sand. This is pathetic. This is as easy as it's going to get.
Stop flunging! Get over the bar! Shot hand, man!
We lost another one last night. Yeah, just pulled the pin. He walked in and said to the boys, oh, yep, see you later, boys, I'm out. Like, what? What are you talking about? He said, yeah, just went and said he's had enough. I think it just broke him mentally. Just the, yeah. He could keep up with the physical side of it, but just mentally, yeah, he's a good bloke too.
But that's the thing, eh? I mean, that's why the selection courses are the way they are. That's why the CDAT is the way it is. You want to weed those people out. I think they're the head instructor or chief instructor or petty officer, I think was his title, his position. He said, we're not trying to collect, what did he say? We're not trying to collect as many vests as we can. I think he said something to the words of the effect, we're trying to collect the right vests, or, make sure that the right vests are hanging up. And yeah, you want those vests to be hanging up, in this case for their course. You want them to be hanging up during their selection process, not when you're out on a job or on a task and psychologically or mentally things start getting a bit tough, and then they decide in that moment that they want to pull out. All well and good if you're physically capable, awesome. But if you're not mentally connected there as well, you're going to let the team down. So it's interesting that they all thought he was, or not all, that this guy thought he was a good bloke as well, a good dude. So, that does say a lot about the guy. People, or this guy clearly thought pretty highly of him. But, hey, he's not there. He's decided to just walk in and tell the guys that he's out of there.
It's usually really weird when someone drops out because you muster up for your next timing and you're missing a number and you're just like, what the hell? Then they come back holding a vest saying, you've just lost another member, and yeah, there's going to be plenty more to go. Only less than half of you are going to get through. Why don't you just give up now? And everyone's like, I'm not giving up.
Okay, listen up. For this test, you will each be required to breath hold dive in approximately 3 metres of water. You will tie a bowline to the handle of the cruciform. Staff will check your knots, and you will continue until you have successfully tied 1 bowline each.
The bowline is the most commonly used knot in the Navy. But after 6 gruelling days of CDAT, even the simplest task can be daunting, as Brodie Limbury from outback Queensland is about to find out.
Oh, negative.
Have you completed task number 14?
No, PO.
Righto, I'm seeing nothing here but amateur hour. It looks shit, it looks unprofessional, and I'm starting to get pissed off. We have to do this shit in the dark when no one else can help us out. Think about it.
I need to hold on to it until we're finished. Put your hand above your head.
Up and inboard. Now.
Not completing this simple test could see Brodie fail CDAT.
Facing out to sea. Think of your career.
The rope over it and twist it around.
Listen up, gents. The 0530 timing has been amended. You are required to muster now.
Go, boys.
It's another 2 a.m. start, and the candidates have been ordered to pack their kits. CDAT has a few more surprises.
Exit the water by the starboard.
It's Groundhog Day, and the men will have to repeat all the torturous activities of a previous day. Sleep-deprived and ground down by the mind-numbing repetition, the men are reaching the limits of their strength and patience.
That can really bring a lot out in a bloke. You know, he's dragged out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, and the day prior he's been flogged. Obviously, it's there to remove them from their comfort zone. So anyone can be their best with 9, 10 hours sleep. Absolutely, we'd all be bloody athletes. But there's a reason for that. Not only so we can really bring out the guts of their character, but also that these are conditions they work under if employed as a clearance diver.
Awesome. I'm just looking at the time. I'm going to wrap this one up here, but really enjoying this. Thank you again to Jay. Hang on, let me go. Yeah. JAYEPH.087. Thank you very much. One of the members of this channel. Very grateful to have you there, and all the members, and even those that aren't members. Thank you very much for the recommendation. Thank you very much for sending this through. Really enjoying it. I've had a few laughs, but also really taken away a lot for me personally, just how incredibly hard, fit, and capable the clearance divers are, and how pretty awesome to see the selection. I've never taken any time to watch a Navy or clearance diver selection. I've heard bits and pieces of how tough a clearance diver selection is, but I've never spent any time looking at it. So really enjoying these. So thank you very much once again. Thank you to those that spend any time here. Thank you for your kind support, encouragement, anything that you choose to offer or input here to this channel. I'm very, very grateful for it. And to those, as always, that are struggling, that are going through hardships, challenges, trials, difficulties, whether it's employment related stuff, whether it's work relationship stuff, whether it's family relationships, whether it's your own personal demons and stuff at the moment that you're just really struggling with in those dark times. Just, know that you're not alone. Know that there are better days ahead, that the sun will shine again. So I just encourage you to keep turning up, to keep staying in the fight, to keep putting one foot in front of the other every single day. Stay consistent and stay disciplined, and I promise you good things will happen. As always, go always a little further. Remember, who dares wins. And until the next video, a big mana wave coming from me to you, filled with my aroha, respect, appreciation, and gratitude for you all.